Putting it back on. Hopefully in the most annoying way possible. Alright. Now you come on down here. Okay, I'll just use it like this then. It's actually fine. So, those drums, right? They sound crazy good. It's so you guys kind of know I'm a Canopus artist. Canopus. Sorry, dude, I don't spell goods. But I'm not playing my Canopus drums right now. What I'm playing is the Gretsch USA Custom Vinny Colaiuta signature. It's all his signature sizes. But all that means kind of nothing. This is my long form. So I've been waiting. It's been 9 months. 9 months of building this stuff and spending tons and tons of money on recording stuff and preamps and new mics and finding out and lighting and sound dampening and aesthetic choices and stuff. And really the reason that I was doing all of that was I've always wanted to put out, like, this is what I can contribute to the world, right? I used to be in the military. I'm no longer in the military. Obviously, I have long hair and a beard. So now, what is it that I can contribute to the broader picture? And what I've come up with is I can kind of play drums-ish, and I don't mind talking in front of a camera or in front of a crowd. And so this is what I have to offer. But I didn't want to go long form and start trying to put something out for people until I had a product that I was proud of, and that I was proud to give up to the internet. Like, most of my videos have just been trying to dial in the sound and try to find, why is it when I watch Benny Greb and our Lord and Savior Dave Weckl, obviously Vinny, Annika Niles, Jesus, these guys are monsters, but their drums sound so good. And it's not, to me, I kept thinking, like, why is it that their drums sound so much better than mine? And it's not like, these are Gretsch USA Custom Signature Series drums. I can listen to them unmiked, and they sound amazing, but I couldn't figure out the EQ piece, the Logic piece. All that stuff is brand new to me. It's taken me the past 9 months to learn enough about how to use that stuff. And it's not, the credit doesn't go to me. I happen to have some people that I work with who are audio engineers. Not everybody does, but they're down to answer my dumbass questions, of which there are many. And every time I want to do a recording, or I've got something that I think sounds good, or I can't figure it out, I'll bring it in and let one of the homies take a look at it. And they've given me so much knowledge. It takes up so much time, man. Like, there's a lot of people that want to do this, right? Like, they want to play drums and they want to put out shows and be a recording artist, right? Like, yeah, that's the dream. I mean, the real dream is to, like, get bitches and money, right? But here's the thing. I'm with Madison. I have no interest in anyone else. And I couldn't care less really about money, like it doesn't do anything for me. I think it's a silly pursuit to like I've never wanted to be the wealthiest dude in the cemetery. It just seems like such a bad future plan. But like I said, man, it took me a long time to get the long form going. Not because I didn't have content or because I couldn't play well enough. None of that. It's the reason that I've delayed doing the long form, like doing the show, is because I recognize that me putting a product on the internet that's long, right? It's not a song, it's not a clip or a 30-second little thing, right? This is like, you know, a long form type of a thing here, which means I'm coming and asking you to let me be a part of your daily life. You know, like what do we use these longer podcast type things for? They're the thing that plays in the background while we're sitting at work. It's the thing that's playing on our phone while we take a shower or while we're cutting the grass, or I don't know, pick whatever it is that you do when you listen to your stuff, right? And it's private, it's very private, it's very personal. And I'm asking all of you to allow me to be a part of your life and to form this kind of relationship together, right? Like, I don't know you, but if you're watching this and I'm talking and talking, like, you do start to feel like you know me, right? Like, I feel like I've been friends with Joe Rogan for years. I've never met this man, but I listen to him all the time. I know a bunch of things about him. Same thing with like Zach Grooves, who, by the way, is I absolutely love Zach Graybiel, to give him his government name. But that guy he's one of the people that I watch and look to for inspiration, for like that. He's one of those like, I want to get to where he is type of people, you know, like there's like Weckl, right? And Weckles, the dude's not from this planet, you know, he's technically perfect. His vocabulary is insane. His headroom is crazy. His independence, his dynamics, his musicality, his ability to read, sight read, all of it. It's incredible. Dude is, he can do no wrong. So Vinny, you know, he's another one. Dude can do no wrong. Go back, if you don't believe me, go back and listen to Joe's Garage from Frank Zappa. That's number one. And then juxtapose that with, what the hell is it called? The Hounds of Winter. Sting album. Dude, you want to talk about somebody who's just got, and then go listen to some Herbie Hancock, right? Go listen to, what is it? Is it Nothing Personal? Whatever, Herbie Hancock. You type in Herbie Hancock and Vinnie Colaiuta, and you'll find a bunch of songs. Any one of them, Cantaloupe Island, all of that stuff. But like, you listen to Vinnie playing on that, and then you listen to him playing with Sting, and you're like, it is kind of mind blowing to see it and be like, dude, that's the same person. Like Porcaro, right? Like I love Jeff Porcaro, thanks to my dad. My dad's a drummer. Actually, what I'm going to do to close this out is I'm gonna put drums to one of his songs. He doesn't know that. I will obviously get permission before I put it out publicly. But so yeah, I have the stems to one of my dad's songs that he recorded with one of the bands he was with, and I really like it. It's super funky and fun. But because of him, I have this really weird taste in music. and I really like I grew up watching Buddy and Gene Krupa and Louis Bellson and Greg Bissonette and Dennis Chambers and Dave Weckl and Marvin Schmitty Schmidt and God, man, the list goes on and on and on. And now it's just growing. There's like Garstka, Portnoy, take your pick, Mangini, Virgil Donati, the obvious killers like Annika, and basically any of the Meinl Symbols guys are and gals. Emmanuel Capulet, she's a beast. All those dudes and dudettes are amazing. And for some, I don't know how Meinl snatches all of them up, but like, what up, Meinl? I use some Meinl Symbols. Maybe. Do you want to like throw me on your artist roster? Is that cool? Do I look awesome? Hopefully that was awkward. But yeah, well, anyway, what was I talking about? But so with all of this stuff, I never wanted to waste any of your time. If and when I was going to put out my stuff, my long form, my like, I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. Watch it if you want to watch it. Don't watch it if you don't. I'm going to continue to release them every week because it's what I want to do. And if it catches on and people really like it, then amazing. And if not, it's a way for me to express myself creatively regularly and without impacting anyone else's life. Like, I am here by myself in my house. Madison's at work. The boys are at school. We've got a bunch of kids, 3 to be exact. But so the kids are at school and she's at work. Today just happens to be my day off, so I used Wednesdays, and this will come out on Friday, so looking backwards, I use Wednesdays as my day to try to get everything recorded. Everything that I need to record in my home studio on my acoustic drum kit. But the fun thing that I, like kind of the unique experience that I have that some people don't, is that I work in a music store / academy. So my whole life, my whole job, every part, and I teach jujitsu at a gym at nighttime. But so like my whole life is based on knowing everything about drums, from like which companies use which bearing edges to who's using zinc versus aluminum for their die cast hoop process, where the drums are made. Like that's what I do. I have to know that stuff because customers, I don't want someone to purchase an instrument and then be like dissatisfied with the product that they bought and then look to me like, dude, you sold me this it's like a car, right? Like that's a lemon. You get home with your junky middle school level drum kit and I've just been hyping it up and like tickling your balls in the store for an hour and a half, and you drop a $600-700 because let's be honest, that's what those shitty kits cost. And I've been, if I'm hyping you up about it, then you get home and you start playing it and you're like, this is not what that dude said it was going to be. But also working in the music store, I have the ability to practice for 8 hours a day. As long as I'm not actively engaged, like with a customer, I have sticks in my hand, and if I'm not on a practice pad, I'm usually on. I don't play the acoustic kits at work because that's obnoxious, and nobody wants a fucking drum solo happening while they're, trying to do end of month closeout numbers or something. So, but I practice. As if I'm not doing customer stuff or paperwork, and honestly, if I have stuff to read, I'll drill and train on a pad while I'm doing it. Thank you, ADHD. I have the capability to play paradiddles for 45 minutes while I read some whatever thing that some company wants me to read for them or wants me to know about. But so all of that circles back around to how did I do it? Because dude, there are so many, and I left so many people out, like Jarvis Yoakley, Thomas Pridgeon, there's a whole crop of humans that play drums at a level that far surpasses anything I think I'll ever be able to do. And I'm not here to teach anybody anything. I'm not interested in teaching you how to do what I like. Who the fuck am I? I don't do anything special. I can kind of play the drums, and I practice enough that I can kind of go a little fast with drum rolls, if that matters. But that's I'm not. If you want to be the greatest drummer, you want to be the next Weckl. I don't know how to get you there. I'm not there, so I don't know how to get you there. So I'm happy to share my journey with you, and I train and work my ass off every day, all day, to try to be the best and most complete player that I can be. But that's my journey. I'm not at the level of the Vinnies or the Bissonets or the Zach Groove type dudes where I'm instantly recognizable as a really serious musician. I'm still working to gain that recognition and to prove my competence to the wider drumming community, essentially, is what we're all doing, right? Venturing out and putting a channel together and releasing shows, right, is in essence us saying, I want to do what you guys do. Here's my version. Let me know what you think. It's basically asking for evaluation, because people are going to be rude in the comments. They're going to be shitty to you. And I know this to be true because I work in the music store, and believe me when I tell you, I have to listen to some of the most hellacious, horrific shit talking in addition to awful playing. Man, I can't even begin to tell you the people that come in talking to me about I've got fucking 20 grand worth of drums and cymbals and blah 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 and all this stuff. And they're like, check it out, man, here's a video of me playing, and it's them just butchering an AC/DC song and just all over the damn place. But I mean, that, which is not to say that I'm better than them playing, because I know that I'm not. The first 4 videos that I put up, if you go back and look, there's mistakes all over them, and they're not legitimate mistakes, because here's what I didn't know. I didn't know that Bluetooth headphones, like my Beats Studio headphones, I didn't know that using them on the Bluetooth mode was impacting the amount of latency that I had to endure. So all of those videos were me recording, and I could not hear my drums at all. I could only hear the music, and that I was legit. I would record it, go back, listen to it, and try to make sure that everything lined up, but I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear any of the stuff that I was playing. Like I could hear it, drums are loud. I could hear it through the headphones, but that's how I could hear it. I couldn't hear it coming through sound-wise because the latency was so bad that as I would play, it would sound like I was like almost an entire eighth note behind whatever I was playing to, and it was I couldn't do it. It was too jarring. Like I couldn't focus because it was so like clangy bangy. It sounded like, as my dad always says, like it sounded like sneakers in a dryer. Yeah, like so I know the struggle of being like, yeah, man, I know, check this out, and then it's terrible. I've done it too, but I know that people are shitty, and I know that people are going to be shitty. And I honestly don't care, man. Like it doesn't. I couldn't care less about that. I love music. I love the drums. I love everything about the drums. I love the manufacturer. I love the different head combinations. I love all the tricks and tips and how to record them and like all those processes. I love them, and I love them in a way that it's all encompassing. It's everything. Like if I'm playing on my phone, I don't have an Instagram or TikTok or a Snapchat. I don't have any of that stuff. I have YouTube and I have a Twitter, but honestly, Twitter is kind of like, I just scroll through it and look at all the AI pictures of fucking celebrities and shit. I don't contribute to Twitter. But so I'm not involved in any of that stuff. But if you see me playing on my phone, I'm watching somebody playing drums or doing jujitsu. Usually, like those are the two categories of things. If you look at my search history, it's all jujitsu and drums. Jiu-jitsu, I don't watch as much because it makes me miss California and Japan. I lived in Japan for about a year, and I lived in California my entire adult life. I moved here to South Carolina in 2020, and I finished out in the military in 22, and so 23, 24 have been me starting to figure out, like I worked odd jobs here and there to like find my place, because I spent a long time in the military, and then you get out and it is difficult to like find your footing, right? Like in the military, the Marine Corps specifically, everything is laid out for you. Like you have a job, you have a purpose, you're doing a very specific set of things with a very specific set of people, and that's what you do, and you know what you're doing it for, and everything is supporting the institution, and if, God forbid, we're in some kind of armed conflict, it's saving lives and preventing unnecessary casualties. And then you get out, and like, what are you going to do? Sell insurance? So now I'm talking to some retiree about how he should trust his life savings to me so that I can get a commission. Like, I'm not interested in that, man. I won't do that to people. And so I was teaching drums and teaching jiu-jitsu. And the academy and the superstore, where there's a bunch of them, it's in Savannah, Georgia. But the resident drummer, the dude that does all the stuff, like gets all the stuff for the schools and the churches and blah, 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 had just retired. And so they were hanging up a sign, and I took it down and brought it to them. And I was like, hey, man, I'm recently out of the military and I would love to do this job. So I interviewed, and yeah, I've been working there for 9 months now. And it's incredible. But that was how I found like my place post-military, because it's hard. It's really hard to transition out of the Marine Corps, man. Like, it's such a big family. Maybe that's a bad word to use, but it's such a big organization, and you're constantly, everything you do is with other Marines. You're constantly doing some kind of an event or some deployment or a detachment or whatever, and you've got a PT, you've got to train, you've got to do these things because you're evaluated on all that, and because, God forbid, you're in an armed conflict. My old CO, Rich Elaine, call sign Metro, used to say it's prudent to be able to save your own life and the life of somebody next to you. So you should at least be physically fit enough to bail like the dude or the girl next to you out of whatever jam you guys are in, and also not die yourself. But like, it's so hard to go from that being your MO, right? Like, that's what everybody is doing, to like, that goes away. And now you don't have to be on base early in the morning anymore. And if you want a PT and work out, it's because you want to. Nobody's going to tell you that you're getting fat. Well, maybe they will, but that's rude and mean. But like, when you lose that, it's very hard. The direction isn't there anymore. There's nobody issuing you orders. And I mean, I was an officer, so I was giving orders as well. But there's always someone higher, you know, like, unless you're the president, there's always somebody above you. And then you get out, and it's just me and Madison and the kids. And we're just doing what we do the best we can, trying to figure life out, you know, trying to be parents. And so I struggled for a while to find a place that I would fit and feel okay. And I don't like wave the veteran flag and scream at everybody about my service all the time. I'm happy for the experiences that the military gave me. I was a drill instructor. I started enlisted, and then I became an officer later. But I got to do some really cool things, and I got to go to some cool places and meet some really incredible people. But I don't look back on that and wish that it was still what I was doing. I love what I did. I don't have any regrets about it. Maybe one or two, but also I'm done with it now, and I have put it behind me and moved on. You know, it's like a breakup, right? It's like a bad breakup. It takes a while to get over it, but then you put it behind you, and you figure it the fuck out. And that's how you transition out. And so it took me all of that time to get all of this stuff here, and my ability to reproduce quality recordings and videos with what I have. It took me almost a year to get to a place where I could reproduce the sounds, because every so often I would get lucky, right? Like, something would sound cool, but then I couldn't figure out what the fuck I did to make it sound cool. And so then I would go on YouTube, and it's just a bunch of self-aggrandizing fucking people talking about how smart they all are and how dumb everyone else is, and shit talking. But occasionally you'll find somebody that's like a real person. And I cannot remember his name, and I'm so sorry because you're a real G. He was a European dude, and he explained a YouTube video. He explained how compressing a sound wave works and how to set up the compression and what he looks for when he's adjusting the EQ settings on his recordings. And it was finally a video that that I watched and I understood. And like, I feel like you know what I mean when I say that. Like, I actually understood what he was describing, and then I was able to apply it, and that was the difference for me. That was the game changer. Like, I finally understood what people meant when they were saying, like, I'm gonna add compression to this. And I'm sorry that I don't know the guy's name. I will look it up and I will put a link up for everybody to go watch the video. But it wasn't an overnight process, nor was it very particularly easy. I've gone through a bunch of drum heads to try to find ones where I could get the appropriate attack and resonance happening. And where I've landed, right? Like, I love this sound. This is my favorite version of my drums that I have, that I've ever done, right? And what I landed on was the Evans EC2 with moon gels. And I only do the moon gels to stop. I really like the Big Fat Snare Drum Autotone things. Those are incredible. If you've never used those, check out Big Fat Snare Drum. They're not the only people that sponsor me are Canopus Drums. That's it. They're my only sponsor, and I love them. And if you don't know who Canopus Drums is, you need to go and check them out. Their drums are every bit as nice as the ones that I'm playing right now. And these psychos took the biggest fucking risk ever and signed me to a 3-year contract with them to be an artist for them. And I know you don't fucking know me. I don't have a bunch of albums out, and like, I'm not on tour. You know what I mean? What did my mom used to say? I'm fucking Joe Shit the Ragman, dude. You know what I mean? And they took a chance and they signed me, and I haven't even gotten the drums. That's how recent it is. It was only a couple months ago that they signed me. But that's my only sponsorship. Everything else that I'm telling you, or that I'm saying, is just the truth. It's what I use. But I landed on Evans EC2S for my batter heads, and the EC Rezo for the Rezo heads. And then my snare is Genera. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Genera HD. And I use the Dave Weckl Remo sound dampener jammy thing, again with a moon gel. My bottom head is, what is it? The textured black fibery one. I legit just figured I would try it, and it actually sounds really, really good as the Rezo head. I'm keeping it. I also used the Remo sub muffle. It's like a bass drum muffling kit on my 18-inch floor tom that's over here. Just because that particular drum becomes a bit overpowering. But everything else is wide open. I just throw a single moon gel on them, and everything's close mic'd. Snare drum is top bottom. Kick drum is a 22-inch, and in front of it is the Shure, the good one. It's like the 52. And then I have this, what are they called? Digital Reference is the company that makes the close mics. So I've got a kick drum mic on my 18-inch. digital reference compressor on my hats, which are 15-inch contact with the shells on top, and I've also got a splash in the cymbal cup just to give it a little more dryness. And then I've got over here is the Luke Holland baby stack, the Bisons, Meinl. Again, Meinl. If you want to throw some cymbals my way, I'd be down. And then I've got the Matt Garska Temporal 2 stack over here. And then this is a K Custom, Dark Crashed 18. And then I've got an A Custom 10-inch splash. This is a discontinued Sabian ride. It's a Salsero ride. It's I like it, and I don't have unlimited resources to go buy a legacy Dave Weckl flat ride from Sabian or anything. So, like, I work at a music store. I'm not rich, and this is just a Zildjian China. But I also have a trigger on my kick drum. It's a D-Drum Chrome Elite. And honestly, I haven't been using it because I learned how to EQ my bass drum so that it would punch. But I got it out of frustration because I couldn't figure out how to make my bass drum cut through the mix. And it sounded awful no matter what I did to it, until I watched that dude's video. And so I bought the kick drum. I run it through the D-Drum DDTI, and it's just, all it really does is kind of like how do you say it, piezo, pickups in a guitar. It's kind of the same concept. It's just a receiver type sensor that picks up on the vibrations from the batter head, and it transmits that vibration to an electrical signal through the DDTI interface, and on that you can adjust the velocity curve and the threshold and all that stuff. So you can, which is really just like a nerd way of saying the sensitivity and the loudness and the response. You can adjust all of that, and then it links to the DAW plugins. And what I use is Addictive Drums, and it's a Sonar Studio. Sonar, I love Gretsch, I love Canopus, but oh my God, do I ever love Sonar. I think their drums are the most beautiful sounding. That's a toss-up between them and the reference models in Pearl. They're so nice. Just the sound that they make, it like brings a tear to my eye. But so I use Addictive Drums, and it's just a Sonar Studio kick. And that's it. But everything else is just EQ'd. I have no effects on any of this, no plugins, no anything. It is what it is. And I've been talking for a little while now, so what I'm going to do is wrap it up and jump into a playthrough of this song that's my dad's. It's called Higher Than Heaven. My dad wrote it and released it. He's an incredible artist. You'll see for yourself when I put the music up of him singing. He's amazing. Great drummer, too. But he doesn't play drums on any of his stuff. He just sings. But he's a really good drummer. He taught me how to play. Before I ever went to school or took any lessons or anything, he was the guy. But so I'm just gonna jump into that. I'll do a quick playthrough, and then I'll see you guys next Friday. Hit me up in the comments. Tell me what you think. I'm so excited to put this out, and I'm really, like, I humbly am asking you, all of you, to let me be a part of your life, to bring me in and have that relationship with me that you have with the your background people, your Joe Rogans and all that. Obviously, I'm never going to be a Rogan and be a billion followers and all that stuff, and I couldn't care less about any of that. I want to keep doing this, and I think it's a good thing to have for people who are interested in the stuff that I'm interested in. Like if you like drums and jits and all that stuff, that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about drums and music and whatever random shit we come up with. But drop me some comments. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. That's what I got so far.